Hello and welcome to Inside Modular, the podcast of commercial modular construction, brought to you by the Modular Building Institute. With a compact footprint, variety of unit options, and seamless system management, City Multi-Variable Refrigerant Flow Zoning Systems from Mitsubishi Electric Trane HVAC US are a one-stop solution for modular projects. With efficient operation and the ability to connect to commercial ventilation equipment, third-party systems, and comprehensive control solutions, City Multi-VRF can help you meet energy and performance goals on your next project. From off-site development to on-site assembly, you can trust our manufacturer-level support to guide you from system selection to design to startup, no matter the application. To learn more about our offerings, visit MitsubishiPro.com. Welcome everyone, my name is John McMullen, and I'm the Marketing Director here at MBI. Today I'm talking with Brad Gudeman, Vice President at Maryland-based Modular Genius and Chair of the Modular Building Institute's Board of Directors. We'll be talking about what it means to be a member of MBI, and we'll highlight the important initiatives that members and the industry at large can look forward to in the months ahead. Brad, welcome.
Hey, John. Thanks for having me. Look forward to talking with you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I should tell you, you've been a bit of my white whale this year. I've been talking with Ed, your Director of Marketing, I think for 6 or 7 months now about getting you on the show. So I really appreciate you being here.
Oh, absolutely. Glad to be here.
So tell me about yourself, Brad. How did you start in the modular construction industry, and what led to you becoming the chair of its trade association?
Good question. Well, I was given the opportunity to support sales and marketing for a large modular leasing company back in the mid-90s. I transitioned into a new role establishing their storage container division in the mid-Atlantic U.S. I managed that fleet as well as had a role in sales. I still remember to this day my crowning achievement was leasing 1,000 units in a single year. Transactional sales were fun, but I was more interested in modular project business. I worked for a couple other modular companies prior to starting our business. Our business, Modular Genius, was founded 15 years ago with my two partners, Damon Pross and David Vaneke. Our mutual desire to stay involved in the industry was solidified by becoming an MBI member in 2006. My involvement with MBI led me to being nominated as a trustee for the Modular Building Institute's Education Foundation in 2011. Mm-hmm. And I want to explain for the audience that's not aware, the Education Foundation is a nonprofit that works for colleges and universities providing scholarships and design competitions. We have had a successful partnership with American Institute of Architects students. 10 years later, I still involve my time with the foundation. My involvement with the foundation was a contributing factor to my nomination as a board member of the Modular Building Institute. I joined the board of directors in 2014, and it's an honor to be a part of leadership for members and the industry.
Well, that's great, and thanks for bringing up the Education Foundation. I haven't talked about that much before. We haven't had any guests who spoke to that before. I remember last year some fantastic projects came through, so we'll have to dive into that sometime soon. It's definitely worthy of an episode, I think. So you've had all this experience in modular construction, started Modular Genius. Tell me more about your role as board chair, though. What are your responsibilities now with MBI?
Yes. Well, as MBI board chair, I'm actively involved in meetings throughout the year. As part of the executive committee, we report certain strategic initiatives back to the board. As part of the nominations committee, we provide recommendations to the board, which will be presented to MBI membership once a year at World of Modular at the business meeting. Mm-hmm. Throughout the year, I sit on several council and committee meetings and participate in quarterly board meetings. There might be a meeting or two I'm forgetting, but it's a good bit of work staying engaged.
And what can you tell me about the last the 5 to 10 years? How has the modular industry itself grown?
Yes, MBI membership and interest has grown exponentially. We have 20 plus countries around the world participating in innovation, design, and construction of some of the most eye-popping modular projects to date. I think whether you go back 5 or 10 years, I can say the bar keeps getting raised. The key is speed to occupancy. That just keeps getting shorter with these projects. And then the designs, they keep getting more complex, and then the size of the buildings, they just keep getting larger.
And what about MBI? How has MBI grown over that same time period?
Wow, yeah, it's grown big time. With the interest internationally, there's been quite a mix of projects entered in our annual World of Modular's Awards of Distinction. Attendance has more than doubled since my involvement in 2006. So that is really awesome.
So from your perspective, you're sitting sort of at the top of the hill, so to speak, as board chair. What's MBI's role in the industry at the moment?
I hate to sound so textbook, but for listeners who aren't familiar with the mission of the MBI, I'd like to read it.
Sure.
As the voice of commercial modular construction, it's been MBI's mission to expand the use of off-site construction through innovative construction practices, outreach, and education to the construction community and customers, and recognition of high-quality modular designs and facilities. So, that's the mission, but MBI's role goes way past that. MBI wants to grow the market share in the construction industry. Period. That's what we want to do. We have documented 5% growth over 5 years recently, and I know the momentum just keeps getting increased.
So, with the growing momentum, with the growing interest, we've talked about MBI's big event. You mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, World of Modular. It's MBI's signature trade show, but I personally have only attended one. That was back in 2020. And of course, last year's was all digital, which was a great experience, but digital. What's your experience been like as a manufacturer and as an MBI member in general?
This is my favorite time of the year with my work family. It's a time of the year when everyone is in the same place and we can have perpetual business meetings and laughs about life all at the same time. As a member, our company takes the opportunity to tighten up both business relationships in person or create new ones. It's a must. If you're a newbie and you want to be there and are afraid that you're just going to be standing in the corner, that won't happen for long. It's very welcoming. It's a very engaging environment. And if you're a digital attendee, get a nice, comfortable chair, kick back, and be prepared for information overload, which is a good thing. There's so much covered. You want to go back and rewatch any recorded sessions again.
I was wondering if, since you've been to several, far more than I have, if you could speak just for a second to what it's like to be there. We're going to be back in person next year. We're going to be in San Antonio, the beautiful resort. But I was wondering maybe specifically if you could talk about the expo hall or all the other little networking functions that take place over those 4 days for someone who's never been. If you could just describe a little bit more what it's like to be in those rooms.
Sure. Well, let's talk about that expo hall. That is the room where you have access to manufacturers, suppliers, finance companies, just a huge network of companies that are there to show their wares, talk about what they've done and what they can do for your businesses. And it's just a great spot to have some good one-on-one. For our business, Modular Genius, it's a time of the year that we reflect on all of our accomplishments, and we select projects that we want to enter into the awards as distinction. We look at the right photos, we do a technical write-up, and we really get everybody involved in our business to give it our best in our entry. We've been fortunate over the years to be recognized by the judges. We value our awards. They sit in our lobby of our corporate office, and it lets us share with our visitors our passion for modular construction, and most importantly, the recognition of MBI for our hard work. Everyone that is a member should enter as many projects as possible. I enjoy looking at the entries and get ideas from them. There's only one way to further the industry, and that is to share and build off of other people's experiences.
I think AOD is probably one of my favorite parts of the year. I love seeing the projects come in. They've already started coming in, which is fun to see. The awards dinner is a lot of fun. I know, as you said, Modular Genius has received a lot of these awards over the years, so kudos to you guys. And so for non-members, I think the big news for this year is that non-members actually can enter the awards of distinction, which is, we hope, brings in a lot more entries and a few more eyeballs. Why should a company enter? You've got these awards, as you say, as you come in the door, you see all the awards that Modular Genius has won, but why? What's the value of entering for a non-member?
You're going to have to hold on, John.
No problem.
Somebody's printing on our large format printer. I'm hiding in the back room, and now this huge printer is going off.
Not a problem.
Oh my gosh. What? Just hold on one second.
Okay.
All right. Want to start that question over?
Sure. Let's see. What are the value of these awards? Why should a non-member enter?
Well, MBI provides tools that you can apply to your operation. It strengthens your ties to your customers and the community you serve through the different facets of MBI, such as government affairs, the industry recognition at the World of Modular we just discussed, networking, leads, the advertising, the research. We have training and education. There's a directory, access to everybody's contact information. And then there's the MBI publications that are the bi-monthly Modular Advantage magazine, and then the annual reports for permanent modular construction and relocatable buildings. So just a whole variety of things to support the business. The best way to get involved with the MBI is just raise your hand. If you have interest in getting involved, visit modular.org and reach out to us. We'd be happy to plug you into the right area of interest.
What are your hopes for MBI over the next 5 to 10 years?
I hope MBI membership will double again, and member exposed to the public becomes so mainstream that it will cause a significant shift in how we design and how we build our planet. I hope one day we can say modular is no longer the minority of construction projects, but rather the majority. MBI members will continue to push the envelope of what can be constructed off-site, whether a project is looking for permanent modular construction or a relocatable building. MBI is the leading trade association, and I'm proud our company is a member.
And so, speaking of your company, I'll bring it back home for you. What does 2022 and even beyond look like for Modular Genius?
Well, when I brought up speed to occupancy earlier on, that is just making more opportunity for Modular Genius, especially in the education market, with relocatable buildings for just the population growth and speed to renovations with buildings. And then the permanent side, there are needs by owners for buildings, and they want to get in them fast. They've got money to spend, and we'll help them do that. So 2022 is shaping up really nice. The pipeline is very healthy, and we're really blessed.
Well, Brad, like I said at the top of the episode, we've been trying to get this scheduled for a long time. I really appreciate your time. I know you've been very busy, which is great, but I'm happy we finally got to chat. and I hope we can do it again soon.
Yeah, thank you, John, and thank you for everything you do for the MBI and marketing. You do a great job.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. And if I don't see you before, I will see you in April in San Antonio, World of Modular.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. Take it easy.
My name is John McMullen, and this has been another episode of Inside Modular, the podcast of commercial modular construction. Until next time.